Welcome back to the third video, and we are going to do a little bit of formatting. Now that we've got the numbers, that's the most important thing. Imagine if your supervisor, manager, CEO needed to have the numbers and you said, well, I don't have the final figures yet, but the thing looks nice. Not the best approach. But now we know that we have the correct numbers and we can go ahead and pretty this thing up. Main title. Typically they have a title and a subtitle in these things, and then we have the column headings, row headings in column A. Very typical. So personally, I leave the main title just left aligned. This allows me to put a date over here in the far right, and it doesn't interfere with it. But perhaps you do want to center it. You don't start it over in column D and attempt to hope that it gets centered. Won't work. Here's the correct way to center it. Highlight the area where you want it to be centered. And then over here under Merge and Center, actually you just hit the first one without hitting the drop down, but that will merge and center it. As a title, this is Wimpy. So let's go over here to Cell Styles and see what happens. If I choose heading 1, okay, it retained the merge and center with it. Strange things happen when you start mixing merge and center with the different styles. We will see a little bit of that in a minute. It's still a little small. 15 point isn't very big at all. I would suggest maybe even 22. Look at the proportions. If you're not very artistic, just look at things and see what looks good in some of the books. See if you can figure out what the goal is. There's a little bit too much white space on each side of the title, so we could actually go a little bit bigger. See, now that breaks it down into roughly one column on each side, and that's kind of nice. Okay, but what about this next thing? Well, if I merge and center it, and then pick Cell Style Heading 2, look what happens. We get a blue line out in columns I and J. We first noticed this last spring, have no clue how to fix it. If I come over to Borders and say no border, I get something pretty good going on. Can I do something with this one here? Let's try it. So Styles Heading 3. Not bad. I do recommend that you continue the blank line into this blank cell area. It looks really funny if the underline starts in column B. I wonder, could we put in an underline a top border? Nope, it goes out to there too. So until somebody figures out what the bug is, it's that way. Totals should be set off somehow, and there is a cell style just for that. Unfortunately it was off the screen, but I wonder. Totals should be set off somehow, and there is a style for that. If I pick it from up there on the ribbon, it will be off the screen. So I'm going to scoot the window, the worksheet, to the left just a bit so that you can see that. See, there's total. I really recommend that if you have to get something done in a hurry, that you use the tried and true conventions that your manager likes and not worry about too much creativity, because after all, the numbers are the thing that's most important. So the one thing that you should watch out for is do not format these here with the total style. That just looks funny. You should set them off somehow though, and to make them bold would be one way. You could change the text color to a blue, which emphasizes or matches up with the other blues up here. Same with the names on the left. You could make them blue or some other color. Okay. The next step will be to put in some of the stuff that was required by the instructor, and we'll just do that very quickly under page layout. We like it to fit on one page. We like it to be landscape. In your header and footer you put your name, or whichever class you're in. And over on the right, the date and the time. Okay? Print preview. Oh, it would look better centered, wouldn't it? And I don't know if you're artistic enough to sense it, but the space on the left is smaller than the space on the right. It's that old column I problem that I indicated earlier. Column I is actually in the print range. So if I go preview it again, now that I made column I a little smaller, it's closer to being centered correctly. Okay. The thing we have left is the formula view, and so we'll have you come back after the break to learn how to do that. Bye.